This tutorial will cover how to make changes to your ratings. PDSpec gives you the ability to edit the ratings to customize them however you want. You can add in new ratings, delete out ratings, or rename the default ratings. To edit the ratings, we're going to go up to Edit, Ratings. Next, we want to highlight the rating set we want to edit, so we're going to click on Default, and then we're going to click on Edit. We're now looking at the Edit Rating Set screen. Let's go over some of the basic options that we see. In the top right corner is the rating set disclaimer. Whenever the full rating set definitions are set to print, this will show up at the top. By default, this disclaimer will show up at the top of the definition section of your printed report. On the left, we have a list of the different ratings that we're currently using. And by default, the PDSpec program comes with the ratings of acceptable, not present, not inspected, marginal, defective, and not applicable. Each rating has a set of its own properties, which you can see over on the right. And as you click from rating to rating, the properties for that rating are displayed. The properties include the name of the rating, an abbreviation for the rating color, as well as an explanation of what that rating means. The abbreviation is what will show up above the checkboxes when you have the rating set to show up as checkboxes on the printed report. The rating color is the color that any notes on a line marked with that rating will appear. A common example of when this is used is setting it up so that any line marked defective will have the notes show up in red. The explanation is the definition or meaning of that particular rating. Next, we have a series of checkboxes. The first one is used for not present. This is typically only checked if you have a not present rating. Next is used for the not applicable rating. If this box is checked for rating, then any line item that is given this rating will not show up on the printed report. After that is not inspected, which is used for the not inspected rating. Next, we have use value for scoring. This is an option that is not typically used, so you should simply leave it unchecked. After that is count as being inspected, which means that any line marked with a rating that has this checked doesn't need any more information filled out on it to be considered complete. This is followed by requires note. This means that any line marked with a rating that has this checked must also have a note entered on it to be considered complete. And the last checkbox is for create summary of items marked with this rating. You should check this box for any rating that you want to have a summary created for. When you check the box, you then are able to type in a summary disclaimer, which will show up at the top of the created summary. Let's go ahead and make a few changes. The first change we're going to make is instead of calling this acceptable, let's change it to satisfactory. So to do this, we'll just change the name to satisfactory. Since we changed the name, let's go ahead and change the abbreviation as well from A to S. Let's say another change we want to make is we want to add in a new rating for safety issue. To do that, we'll click on Add Rating. For the name, we'll call it Safety Issue. For the abbreviation, we'll put in SI. Let's say we wanted to require notes as well as create a summary of all items marked with this rating. We don't want it at the bottom. We actually want it to be right below marginal. So to move it, just click on it, hold it, drag it, and then drop it where you want it to go. You can make as many changes as you would like, and once you're done, simply select Close and then Close again. When you do this, the following message appears. It says, if you have made changes to the active rating set, you must start a new inspection for these changes to take effect. So we'll click on OK. And what that means is all the changes we just made are not going to impact previously started inspections and will only impact new inspections that we start. So let's go ahead and start a new inspection so we can see the changes we just made. So we'll select our template. We'll go to our lots and grounds category. And now when we click on a rating dropdown, we'll see our changes. So we have satisfactory instead of acceptable, and we have safety issue in there as a new rating. This concludes the video on how to edit your ratings.